Well, folks, it's time for mixed movie picks.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Alright, on this week's movie picks, I'm reviewing Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Another classic stoner comedy flick. Phoebe Cates got her career started with this movie. Never mind, of course, Sean Penn. Ever heard of him? And, of course, Jennifer Jason Leigh and Judge Reinhold got their big breaks from the movie as well. Okay? That's just how big it was for its time. Okay? This was a huge movie. Anyway, here's a plot in case you need it. Okay? Once again from the Internet Movie Database. So check them out. Here you go. Basically, it follows a group of high school students growing up in Southern California, okay, based on the real-life adventures chronicled by Cameron Crowe, okay. Stacey Hamilton and Mark Ratner are looking for a love interest and are helped along by their older classmates, Linda Barrett and Mike Damone, okay, respectively. The center of the film is held by Jeff Spicoli, okay, a perpetually stone surfer dude, who faces off with the resolute Mr. Hand, okay, who's convinced everyone is on dope. Okay, so perfect example of what we're talking about. Anyway, here's a quick clip from the movie.
Mr. Spicoli.
That's the name they gave me. Hey, you're ripping my car.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
No problem at all.
I love that scene. One of my favorite scenes of the movie. That actually happened to me and a bunch of my friends once when I owned a van. Nobody fell or anything, of course. At least that was good. It was pretty funny, though. Anyway, it's a great movie. A classic stoner movie. Check it out.
Okay, this next segment is time for some medical information.
Oh.
Alright, according to a blog called Always Eating Breakfast, okay, they say researchers studied heavy pot users and found that they had a higher concentration of a certain protein, which is associated with a higher concentration of a certain kind of fat, which is associated with a hardening of the arteries, which is associated with a higher risk of heart attack. Okay, well, there's a lot of witches and associations there, but anyway, the subjects of the study smoked between 78 and 350 joints per week, or 11 to 50 joints a day, which is nice to see, because most of the studies are like 1 joint a day, and we know how realistic that is. Anyway, they also say the active ingredient in marijuana, okay, the one that makes you high, speaking of which, has been shown in studies to be a powerful antibiotic one that could be effective against illnesses where current drugs do not work. Okay, that's what they say. Now, from cyber.law.harvard.edu, okay, so this is Harvard, okay, we have them saying that, and this is a long one, okay, so bear with me. The most potent argument against the use of marijuana to treat medical disorders is that marijuana may cause the acceleration or aggravation of the very disorders it is being used to treat. Okay, so they're saying it could be bad. Smoking marijuana regularly, a joint a day, okay, can damage the cells in the bronchial passages which protect the body against inhaled microorganisms and increase the ability of the immune cells in the lungs to fight off fungi, bacteria, and tumor cells. Okay, so it actually hurts your immune system. That only matters if that's the problem, okay, and this is what they go on to say. For patients with already weakened immune systems, this means an increase in the possibility of dangerous pulmonary infections, including pneumonia, which often proves fatal in AIDS patients. Okay? And that's why, okay, that's the immune problem. Studies further suggest that marijuana is a general immunosuppressant, okay, whose degenerative influence extends beyond the respiratory system. Okay? So if your problem is the immune system in the first place, don't smoke medical marijuana. They don't say anything about anything else quite yet. Regular smoking has been shown to materially affect the overall ability of the smoker's body to defend itself against infection by weakening various natural immune mechanisms, including macrophages, okay, aka killer cells, and the all-important T cells. Okay, but that's regular smoking as it is. Mind you, this is related to that. Obviously, they say, this suggests the conclusion, which is well supported by scientific studies, that the use of marijuana as a medical therapy can and does have a very serious negative effect on patients with pre-existing immune deficits resulting from AIDS, organ transplantation, or cancer chemotherapy, the very conditions which marijuana has often been touted and suggested as a treatment. So maybe they're suggesting it for the wrong treatments. Okay, if that's their big problem, okay, we can fix that very easily. They also say, okay, it has also been shown that marijuana use can accelerate the progression of HIV to full-blown AIDS and increase the occurrence of infections and what they call Kaposi's sarcoma. Okay. Also, in addition, they say, patients with weak immune systems will be even less able to defend themselves against the various respiratory cancers and conditions to which consistent marijuana use has been linked. Just linked, okay? And which are discussed briefly under respiratory illnesses. Okay? So far their only argument is don't use it for problems with the immune system. Okay? They also say, in conclusion, it seems to be the potential dangers presented by the medical use of marijuana may actually contribute to the dangers of the diseases which it would be used to combat. Well, that depends which ones you're combating, right? By the sounds of it. Therefore, I suggest, and this is the person that wrote it on the website, I guess, I suggest that marijuana should not be permitted as a therapy, at least until a good deal more conclusive research has been completed concerning its debilitating effect on the immune system. Okay? Oh, and by the way, the person that wrote it is actually a doctor. Okay? So at least they're intelligent about it. Okay? You know, I can agree with a lot of that stuff. Okay? But not all doctors are actually, you know, intelligent in every way. Some are just, you know, book smart. Okay? So, we can't really argue against the medical facts. But what we can say is that there are many other legal ways of breathing even worse toxins. Okay? Never mind things like asbestos or other things that could kill you even quicker. Okay? Never thought about that, did he? It's a very good reason to not smoke as a habit. I can fully agree with that. But of course, it's not a good enough reason to make marijuana illegal, is it? You know what I mean? That's my argument. Okay? Also, what if the patient smokes cigarettes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the difference? It's just as harmful to the recovery, but of course it's not illegal. So that really isn't the point. Medical or not, it has to be legalized. Just out of common sense, if anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's about it for that. Just because it shouldn't be illegal, doesn't mean that some don't want to give it up. And we don't have a problem with that. Alright? So here's some links to get help people kick different habits. And these are a few of the bigger sites with many links to get help. Okay, first is AA.org, Alcoholics Anonymous, okay. Second is USDrugRehabCenters.com. Then there's drug-rehab.ca. Then there's narcononrehab.com, NARCONON, rehab. Then there's drug-addiction.com. And then lastly we have ibogaine, IBOGAINE.co.uk, and it's made from the root bark of the African plant, and it apparently treats both drug and alcohol addiction. And that's it.